Hi, welcome to River's Knitting Chronicles. I'm your host, River, and it's good to see you again. I was starting to get nervous. I wouldn't be able to carve out some time in the day for this episode, but I really wanted to get back on a weekly schedule. It is actually full dark outside, and so if the lighting is off today, I thoroughly apologize. This was as early as I could get it without putting it off, and if I put it off, it just won't get done until next week. So I didn't want to skip if I could help it. And so, without further ado, let's get to the show. One bit of bad news, I did not get my OWL 50%, try as I might. I did finish my Clapetee, and so, whoops, well, she doesn't know what it is. Okay, Kyra, so this is the part where fast forward for a few minutes. Okay, bye. Okay, so she's gone. She is going to Washington, D.C. in 2 weeks to see Chris. He is, if you haven't watched the previous episodes, when my daughter was a junior in college, she did a semester abroad in London, and she's a theater major at Florida State, so she went to do the London theater program with FSU. And she met an actor there, and they've been seeing each other ever since. He's been to visit multiple times, and he is right now doing a world tour of A Midsummer Night's Dream with the Old Vic. I'm probably saying it all wrong. But anyway, so he was in Hong Kong. It started on the West End. And then he was in Hong Kong, and he got into Boston, I think, yesterday. And so he's in Boston for 2 weeks, and then he's going to be in Washington, D.C. I don't know if he's 1 week or 2 weeks, but Kyra's going to be there with him for 1 week. So they've already got permission from the traveling company, whoever is in charge of saying, yes, your girlfriend can come and stay in your room with you. We have no problems with her being there because, you don't want to just bring somebody like that. Anyway, so she's going to go and stay with him, and she's going to get to see the show. It's midsummer with puppets, and it sounds really cool, and I've seen some videos that the same people who did Warhorse. If you're theater people, that will mean something to you. But anyway, so she's going to get to see the show. They're in DC for 2 weeks, and then they're somewhere in California, and then they're in Korea. I don't think he's done Korea yet, because it was Hong Kong, Korea, and the United States, and then back to London again. And so anyway, so she's going to Boston. It is really warm down here in Florida. It was ridiculous today. It was super hot. We were doing grocery shopping, and instead of looking for close spots, we were looking for shaded spots, because that's life in Florida. And anyway, so, but it should still be cool enough that she can wear it up north. So hold on a sec. The only thing I have left to do is I need to weave in the ends and decide if I'm obviously gonna soak it and lay it out. I just don't know if I'm gonna like block it, because it's a very good size. So, but it is curling a bit on the edges. So I was thinking maybe just kind of pin the edges really lightly and let it dry. But so here is the Clapetee, and it's gorgeous. And now I completely and totally understand why 5 million people have made this thing. I don't know. Yeah, that's so pretty. And she's going to love it. She's a totally pink girly girl. So hopefully she won't catch any. I've got a drop stitch scarf that I caught one of the drops. I had worn it to school, and I was getting into my classroom, and it caught on a kid's book bag, and it just like pulled, and I've never been able to figure out how to fix it. So I'm hoping that she's a little bit careful with it, or that wouldn't happen, because the way these drops work, they're not straight across. So maybe she won't have that problem. But so that's a Clapetee. If you are new to knitting and was not around during the clap craze and want to give it a shot, it was fun to knit. It did get a bit boring. I should have been working back and forth with other things. I think I think if I'd have done that, I would have actually gotten my 50%. But even after saying it yesterday, I just kept blinders on, got to get done, and didn't. But I did all finished except for weaving in the ends and blocking. And so the other part that was my 50% that is not finished, but all the color work is. And it is my Geyer cowl. It is by Elizabeth Elliot. And it is a color work cowl. So I'm finished with the color work. I'm working on the lining right now. So, and it's gorgeous. It really is. Let me get these. The barber pulling means I got lots of strands going on, but how pretty is that? The yarn is Malabrigo Silky Merino. When I finish it, I'll be sure to tell you the colorways. I know that the brown is something like gray. It's called some kind of gray, but it's not gray, it's brown. And then I had the pink label sitting there. I know I've mentioned it in past episodes, and I think it's in the show notes from a past episode. But the color work is beautiful. I wish I enjoyed doing color work more, because I do like how it looks. I like, especially like this yarn, because the way the tonal factor is making it look like it's got all sorts of shading and coolness in it. So the way this cowl works, and I didn't follow directions, but that's just me. So I was supposed to do a provisional cast on. I didn't. I just did a regular cast on. You do the color work up, and then this is as many rows as this. So the two, it'll have those two edges. Now this part is, yeah, when it's blocked out, it's barber pulling around, and so I just don't want to lose any stitches. So what'll happen is this will be as long as the actual color work section, and these are going way, the barber pulls are going way faster because it's just knit around, pick up new color knit, pick up new color knit, pick up new color knit. But so this was 48 stitches or 48 rows. So when this is 48 rows, I'm going to have to pick up. It called to be Kitchenered, but I guess I'm just going to pick up and graft. I don't know. I'll figure it out when I get there. But I have a feeling this will get finished this week. The barber pulling, I can practice. If it were possible to sleep knit, this would be the kind of stuff to sleep knit, because it looks impressive. It looks all stripy, but it really, there's no thinking involved whatsoever. So this will be on the inside, touching your neck, so you don't have all of these floats, which I think my floats are really pretty. I think I did a really good job floating. It's part, I think, of why I don't care for color work as much as I like lace. Having to knit loose and not being able to pull tight, having to keep it loose so that the floats do what they're supposed to do. I don't like doing that. I like to just, I'm a tugger, I guess. So that's how it looks. Right, and looks kind of like a dress, actually, for a very, very tiny person. But that will be done very soon. It's looking weird in my monitor, like there's really light spaces. There's really not. The pink doesn't get very light at all. I think it's just my weird lighting today. So, Geyer Cowl by Elizabeth Elliot. Totally, it's a pay for pattern on Ravelry. Totally worth the cost. One change that I made. See how the inside is mostly pink with skinny brown stripes? It actually called for the color that's the brown to be the fatter stripes and the color that's the pink to be the skinnier. But I had 2 skeins of pink and 1 skein of brown, so it is what it is. So that's Geyer Cowl by Elizabeth Elliot. The Clapetee is, and I just looked this up, it's Kate Gilbert. I want to make sure to say that because that pattern doesn't get talked about a ton anymore since it had its heyday, what, 3-4 years ago. But yes, so Clapetee is Kate Gilbert. The Geyer Cowl is Elizabeth Elliot. And I had one more finished object last week that I wanted to talk about and forgot to grab it. And it is at my feet. Hold on just a sec. This is that teeny tiny baby hat. I knit it newborn size. If my sister is watching, this hat is... Ooh, I'll just hold on to it. My sister is coming to visit, and my son is going to go and spend a few days with her while I take my students to the State Thespian Festival at the end of this month. So I'll just save it, and she can pick it up then, and then I don't have to sweat it and worry that it might get lost. So it's supposed to look like a flower with a stem, and it is called the Rosa Velosa pattern. It is a free pattern on Ravelry. The baby wearing the hat in the picture does not look newborn size, and it comes with different sizes, but I really like those newborn pictures that people get where their kids are teeny tiny and they have ridiculously stupid looking hats on, and so that was my goal, to give her a ridiculously stupid looking hat for when she had clients who had new babies. I guess I need to trim that a little shorter. Oh, sorry, Simpsons. The one change that I made to the pattern, it called for the stem color to end right here and to pretty much immediately go into the leaves, and that just didn't look right to me because it doesn't, stems don't just stop and leaves start, so they tend to have a little bit of... I sat there and looked at it for a little bit trying to see if there was... I thought about maybe slipping some stitches or something to have it kind of do a more gradual change up. If I do it again, I would try a couple of ideas that I had, but at the time I really wanted to get it done. So anyway, it's the Rosa Velosa baby hat. Well, just Rosa Velosa pattern for baby hats. It comes in... I've got the pattern page right now. Newborn, 6 months, or 1 year. So the baby in the picture looks like she's probably about 6 months, but she's sitting up by herself, so she might be a little 1-year-old. It is free and it's cute. I did try it on Fred. He's behind me, as you can see, but it is way too big for his head, so it wouldn't help you see exactly what it should look like. The goal, though, is it looks teeny tiny, but you want it to really be fitted on, and then that'll help the little petal ends kind of flip up a little bit more, and then you get the little stem. I think it's just the cutest thing in the world, and it was fun to knit. It was really quick, and it was fun, and I enjoyed it a lot. So that's my knitting so far. As far as future knitting, I need to knit a class. This term I've knit Care of Magical Creatures twice. The hat, and I might have said herbology on here. It wasn't for herbology, it was Care of Magical Creatures. But it was about the leaves. The leaf pattern in the hat was to feed the demiguise, which was the pattern, which was the class prompt for that month. And then that hat was also Care of Magical Creatures, and I can't remember exactly what that prompt was. So because I've done the same class twice, I figure I'll just be loyal, and I will do something else for that class. It's something about snails. I had picked out a slipper pattern, an easy garter stitch slipper pattern that I'd wanted to do for Quidditch last month. I didn't end up doing any Quidditch because I get busy. It's my life, and so I'm decidedly not feeling bad about that because it's just what my life is. But I didn't get to make those, and of the things that I had picked for Quidditch, those were the things that I was like, I really want those. So I think the prompt is that they're not, I think they're snails. But anyway, they have kind of a venomy kind of thing that can be dangerous. So I thought they're on the ground, and so slippers would protect my feet. So I think that would work. So that's what I'm leaning toward. It kind of depends because I still have to finish the cowl, and then I have to finish the bling socks, and I have to finish my Ocean Spray shawl, all to get my owl point, the rest of the owl points. I didn't get the 50% points, but I can still get the rest of the points. So that's a lot to do as well. So a pair of slipper and 2 of my Mad Chatter friends have decided to pair up with me for the next round of Quidditch, which is teamwork. The Mad Chatters, and this is a good bit of Harry Potter Knit Crochet House Cup history for those who weren't around at the time and wonder what this thread is. The year that I started playing right after the term had started in January. And so I was what's called a NCFY, NQ, not quite first year, NQFY. And so our group of not quite first years was an incredibly chatty, close group. We became really good friends. And so we were not quite first year, so that means we weren't sorted into houses. So we had one thread to talk in, the not quite first year's thread. And then we all got sorted to different houses, but we still they put together a first year's thread for all of us to, and for anyone else who was a first year that year, to chat and talk and hang out together. And so we all kept in touch there. Well, after that, you were expected really to stick to kind of your house, and then you can move houses, and you can go to the Great Hall. There's lots of places you can go, but there wasn't a place that was for this group. So we petitioned and asked and got permission, and I don't think they realized it would last this long, because we've been at Hogwarts. We're past our first 7 years. I think I'm a B2. I keep forgetting that. But anyway, so we still all talk, and some of us have kind of moved on. Some of us don't play the game anymore. Some of us don't get a chance to visit as much because we're really busy in our houses. But we're all pretty much still hanging out and at least checking in every once in a while. So that's really cool. So anyway, for Quidditch, I went over to the Mad Chatters because you get extra bonus points if you team up with people from other houses. And I thought, well, this would be great. I will team up with other Mad Chatters who are awesome, and it'll give us a chance to get to do something together with the folks who are not in my house. So I teamed up with 2 different Ravenclaws, and I said my main thing is I need to make things that are small because I get really busy and I know I'm going to be, crunch time on the owls the whole time, or on my owl the whole time. So with one of them, we're both making ornaments. The way this Quidditch prompt works from March, there are a bunch of different professional Quidditch teams per the Quidditch for All Ages, I think was the name of the book, and it talks about the different teams. So, and they all have different specialties. So you can either both pick one team and make something different, or both pick different teams and make the same type of item, but that would fit those different teams. So, with one, I'm trying to remember. I know with one of them we're making Christmas ornaments, because I always say that I want to make some Christmas ornaments, and I never find the time, because by the time you think about making Christmas ornaments, there's already so much going on because it is Christmas. So I'm making bells, I think, Christmas ornament with that one. So that one should be pretty quick and pretty simple. And I can't remember what we decided with the other. I think we're going to pick the same team but to do 2 different things. So anyway, I'm very excited to work with my Mad Chatters in Quidditch this time. I'm sad. I am sad as much as and I completely understand that I got busy, but I just wish I could have done a bit more. I'm concerned at this point I'm not going to get my highest points ever. I think I need to just admit that those will pretty much always happen in the summer when I'm not working. It's silly to think that I would earn more points when I was working than I would when I didn't, unless I were suddenly teaching knitting, which is not in the high school curriculum, so that's not going to happen. Anyway, this has been a lot of really fast, rambly talk, hasn't it? One other thing that I wanted to mention that's kind of going on with me, and I thought about asking, and so I think what I'll do before I start a thread about this thing specifically is when I put the thread in the Rav group, and if you haven't joined yet, please join us. I would love it if we got more chatty. Maybe I should just start a chat thread so people know to just chat, which would probably be smart. Should have thought of that before this second. But anyway, um, I have a Rav group. We sometimes it gets a little bit busy in there and people are hanging around, and sometimes not. It would be awesome if we could get to know each other a little bit better and all of that great stuff. So this is what I was thinking is I always start a new thread for the new show. Um, so I'll put a mention of this in there, and then y'all tell me if you're interested. If you're not, no harm, no foul. I totally get it. But anyway, one thing that I have been doing, I don't know if you've ever heard of, there is an app you can get for your phone if you are a runner that is called Zombies Run and exclamation point. Zombies Run! So what it does is, like if you're a runner, you're running along, and it interrupts your music, telling you like there are zombies after you and you have to speed up or go fast for so long and turn left, turn right, and all this stuff. It sounds really fun, but I am not a runner. I'd like to get there though. But the same company has a different a newer app that just came out a little bit ago called The Walk. And what happens in The Walk is, and for some reason I haven't been able to get it to break into the music. Sorry, my nose. But they said they fixed that, and I just haven't really searched it really well. But anyway, so what happens in The Walk is you are in Scotland and you're in a train station, and somehow you're given a package. Kind of strangely, you don't know what's going on, and someone releases an EMP, electromagnetic, so there's no lights, there's no electricity, but this package that you have is like important to the history of the world. And so basically you're tasked with walking across from Inverness, like basically across the whole of the UK. And there's all of these different episodes with different things happening. And so how it works is, I just want to, here we go. You can't quite see it. So you can see, let's see if it'll work. Will it focus? See the blue pattern? And then it'll tell you how many minutes to the next one. You get these little talk things. And so it'll say like 4 minutes. So this is what I do, is I do it with Pandora. And so I'll listen to a song or 2 songs depending on how many minutes I have. And then I'll pause either right at the end of the song or the beginning of the next one and see if I have a little talk thing. And they go from like 30 seconds to 2 minutes. And so it fills me in on the next part of the story, and then I go. So it keeps it really interesting. The only down part is that some of the walks are really long, which is great. The goal is to have you motivated to extend, so you're not always doing a 15-minute walk. Like you want to go an extra 5 minutes. I've gone on a number of walks that are much longer than what I normally do because I wanted to do the whole episode at once. But the one that I'm on is like 75 minutes, and there's just no way that's happening all at once for me at this point in my life. But anyway, so the downside of this game is that I don't know anyone who plays it. And so I'll put a mention in, it's called The Walk, and it's on sale right now. I believe you can get it at the iTunes or at Google Play Store. And I think it's on sale for cheaper than what I got it. It's normally like $4.99 or something, but it's like, I saw someplace it was like I paid $3.99. For a while it was down to $1.99, but it might be back at $3.99. But anyway, if anyone else is interested and they're looking to, now that I know up north I think they're still getting snow, but down here it's getting pretty nice and warm. So if anyone else is interested in starting it up with me and wanting to talk about what episodes you're on and what's going on in the episodes, I would love to do that. So if I get a couple of people who are interested, I will start its own thread in my Rav group, and so we can talk about the walk and how we're doing. I know some people cardio knit while they walk. I haven't figured that one out yet, but I don't know if I could do the game and do that at the same time. But who knows? But anyway, if nobody's interested, then no harm, no foul. I will keep playing the walk by myself because I've been doing it so far. So anyway, knitting, walk. I think that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about today. Thanks for staying up late with me. I hope I don't look too much a mess. My hair doesn't last good 24 hours. My hair doesn't last, yeah. Grammar doesn't last good with me after a long day, but yeah. So, thanks for coming by. Remember, the show notes are always on the blog, which is riversknittingchronicles.com. The episodes, last week I just uploaded to YouTube and then put the link over in the blog, and it seems like that worked just fine. The plus side of that for me is I can upload it to YouTube as a Windows media video. I don't have to convert it to an MP4, and YouTube will take it like that, whereas VideoPress wouldn't. And also, the VideoPress is going to come due for it costs. It's a yearly cost, but it's not something I'm going to be able to afford this year. So that was the other thing. I wanted to see if it could work with just doing the YouTube, and it seems to be working just fine. So it's faster for me. I think the quality is actually a little better since I don't have to go through all of those conversions, and free. So faster, free, and yeah, so I don't see a downside. If you see a downside, if it's not working for you like this, please let me know. Put it in the Rav group, or put a message to me on the blog, and let me know, and I will certainly take that into consideration. But I think I'm going to just go to the YouTube, and I might go ahead and pull when it's closer to the time the money comes up. Because all of the shows are on YouTube, just pull the videos and replace them. Pull the VideoPress ones down and replace them with the YouTube versions. So if people want to go back and see them after the money comes due again, so then I don't have to pay except for to keep my domain. But anyway, so back to where I was. The blog is riversknittingchronicles.com. The YouTube channel is also called Rivers Knitting Chronicles. I'm on Twitter as I am River Cameron, but I'm not on there very much. And somebody hacked it and sent someone some links and stuff. That was not me. But I've gone in and changed my password, so I think I should be okay. A number of people posted on Facebook that happened to them that day, so I don't think it was just me. But anyway, and the Rav group is on Ravelry, also called Rivers Knitting Chronicles, and we'd love to see you there and join us and chat with us. So anyway, I'm going to go. It was great to see you again this week. Bye.